Hi, this is Ron Darling.
This is Skip Lockwood.
Hi, I'm Ron Swoboda of the 69 New York Mets, and you're listening to Metsmusings with Gary Mack.
Now it's time for some New York Mets baseball talk. Here's Gary Mack bringing you the latest news and analysis from Mets Nation and the world of baseball on another edition of Metsmusings.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Metsmusings. I hope you all had a great week out there. Not so good of a road trip for our Metsies this time. 2-4 as they took on their arch enemy, the Yankees. And the Yankees opened the series with a 6-2 victory. Carlos Rodon looks good. He pitched 5 innings, allowing just 1 run. Cody Bellinger and Paul Goldschmidt combined for 5 hits, 3 runs, and 2 RBIs. Aaron Judge went 2 for 4 with a walk. Juan Soto, returning to Yankee Stadium as a Met for the first time, was booed when hitless, drawing 3 walks. The Mets bounced back, though, in Game 2. They evened the series with a 3-2 win. Francisco Lindor got the big, not a hit, but got a tie-breaking sacrifice fly in the top of the ninth, scoring pinch runner Luis Angel Acuna. Closer Edwin Diaz then struck out Aaron Judge to end the game. Juan Soto had a single and a stolen base, eventually scoring on a sacrifice fly by Mark Vientos. In Game 3, it was a tight game until the end when they broke it open. Cody Bellinger led the Yankees to an 8-2 win with a grand slam in the 8th inning, capping a 6-run rally. He also hit a 2-run double in the first inning, totaling 6 RBIs. He was a killer this past weekend against the Mets. Matt Fried pitched 6 innings for the Yankees, allowing 2 runs, and that was the ball game. And then the Mets headed out to Boston for 3 in Beantown, and the results were pretty much the same. In the first 2 games of the regular season series at Fenway, the Mets struggled offensively, scoring only 1 run over 2 games, and the Red Sox pitching staff effectively contained the Mets, leading to consecutive victories. Again, the offense is a problem. They're just not scoring runs. They get the guys on. I think they were 0 for 12 or something in this first game, but they're just not getting that key hit. And right now, the team looks like they're in a collective slump. Offensively, there was a couple of defensive errors in this game as well. Alonso threw a couple of balls away over this road trip. Did not look good. In fact, it looked like he may have been getting the yips. The last game or so, he made a couple of good tosses. So hopefully it was just a bad day. But they just haven't been playing crisp ball as of late. And it's not going to get any easier. They're coming home to play the Dodgers. And the White Sox and the Rockies, I believe. So maybe they can get their heads straight again, especially against the White Sox and the Rockies. But first, they've got to play the LA Dodgers, and the Dodgers are another first-place team. So we'll see how that, we'll have more on the Dodgers a little bit later. But in Game 3 of the series in Boston, Brett Baty's go-ahead 2-run single off of left-hander Brennan Bernardino lifted the Mets to a 5-1 win over the Red Sox. snapping their first 3-game losing streak of the season. Manager Carlos Mendoza shook up the lineup. He dropped guys a little bit in the Soto to third in the lineup, Alonso to fourth, and he played Brett Baty against the lefty, which doesn't happen a lot because Baty being lefty, his numbers aren't that great. But he came through this night and had a terrific game, drove in 3 of the Mets' 5 runs, and the big go-ahead 2-run single that he got put the Mets on top to stay. So a pretty good series for Brett Baty, who has been finding playing time now, playing more third base. Vientos has been doing more of the DH job, and Baty's been coming through with some big hits. He got a home run, couple of home runs in the last homestand, and maybe he's found himself, and that would be a big thing for the Mets if he could find himself at this point in time and develop into a good ball player, much like Vientos did last year. And look, Vientos can just, he can stay in the DH spot. Baty is the far superior third baseman defensively, so, and you've got Acuna and McNeil at second, so we're set. I mean, so maybe Vientos is going to be the DH, and once he gets adjusted, he'll start hitting better. He's been getting some hits, not as consistent as he was last year, but that's okay. Pitches probably have adjusted to him. He's got to adjust to the pitches. Winning pitcher was Oscar Brosnaban, who bailed Tyler McGee out of a bases-loaded 2-out jam in the 5th before going on to pitch 2 more scoreless innings, and he has been sensational. He has looked really good, and he's getting a chance this year and coming through big time for the Metsies. Now, there's been a lot of rumors this week. Things were flying about Juan Soto. He hit that one ball. He hit it off the left field wall, the big monster, green monster in Fenway Park, and watched the ball, didn't run it out, got a single. Okay, he should have been on second base, but he wasn't. He didn't hustle. Other ground balls, and it's been a complaint throughout the season so far. There have been some ground balls that he doesn't run out. I'm not a fan of that. I think you should run everything out. But the guy does play every day. He does, I think, when he hits a majestic fly ball or something he thinks is going to be a home run, he tends to watch it, and that's not a good thing. I wish they would talk to him about that and get him going. But this particular move, Mendoza said he would talk to him about it and get him to hustle it a little bit more. And I think there's a lot, he feels internally there's a lot of pressure on him right now, I believe. Even though he played in New York, this is a different situation. It's a new team. It's the big contract. I'm sure he's feeling some of that pressure about that contract. And if you think back on other Mets that have signed big contracts and struggle, look, Lindor, who is loved by everybody now, was hated his first year here. He had the worst offensive year of his career. He remember the famous thumbs down thing and the feud he had with Jeff McNeil? Lots of things, and people hated him. And now he's a fan favorite. Everybody loves him. Mike Piazza was booed his first year here. Carlos Beltran came over and on a big contract as a free agent. He was bad his first year. So I think we have to give this guy some slack. Let him relax. Let him get comfortable. Let him find his niche. And just let him go. He's going to be fine. He's too good of a ball player. And, just let him go. Let him do his thing. Now, there was another rumor that came out that he does not fly with the team. He flies separately. Totally untrue. Totally. There is nothing in his contract that says anything about travel. He commutes with his teammates, the coaches, and the front office staffers to all road games just like everyone else on the roster. So whoever's putting out there all of this crap about he flies alone, this is reminiscent of the A-Rod deal number of years ago now, when A-Rod was thinking of coming to the Mets and they said he wanted a private jet. And some of it was true, some of it wasn't. But in Soto's case, none of it is true. So do not believe it that that there are, these travel perks for him in his contract. He travels with the team to the road game. Everybody comes on their own on a home game, but in the road games, he flies with the team. He travels with the team on the bus to the stadium. No truth to any of that matters, and you heard it here. So it's just a shame that these kind of things happen, but they do, and there's not much you can do about it. All right, now it's time to take a look at the injury update. Paul Blackburn pitched 7 scoreless innings in his 6th rehab start, his 3rd with Syracuse as he works his way back to the majors. Blackburn allowed just 1 hit over 87 pitches, striking out 6 and walking 2. It was by far his best rehab appearance this month, having let up 9 earned runs over his previous 4 starts in May. Mets manager Carlos Mendoza said Tuesday that the goal was for Blackburn to throw 80 pitches, and if all goes well, the team will have to make a decision on what's next for him. And right now, they do not need another pitcher, so it'll be interesting to see what they'll do. I think they will try to keep him as long as possible in Syracuse. I don't know what the rules are exactly, but I think they will try to keep him there as long as possible under the rehab deal. So Paul Blackburn, though, getting close to coming back, and he could be valuable as a 6th starter or a long man out of the lineup, out of the bullpen. And it may give some people some rest in that bullpen as well. Ronnie Maurizio was reinstated from the injured list and optioned to AAA Syracuse, where he is off to a hot start in AAA, hitting a home run for the 2nd straight game on Wednesday in Syracuse 5-2 win over the Rochester Red Wings. The 24-year-old had 2 hits in his first game with Syracuse on Sunday and followed that up with a 3-hit game on Tuesday, including his first home run of the season. Serving as the designated hitter on Wednesday, Maurizio hit the 2-run home on a 2-1 breaking ball with 1 out in the 7th inning, crushing it to right field. Maurizio finished 2 for 2 with 2 RBI and 2 walks. He also picked up a stolen base after being walked in the 5th inning. It's his 2nd stolen base in AAA. Going into tonight's game, the infielder is now hitting .636 over 3 AAA games, a big improvement over his rehab assignment with St. Lucie and Binghamton, where he had just 4 hits over 10 games. Maurizio will remain there until New York both deems him ready for major league action and has a roster need. Right now, the roster is pretty well packed, so where Ronnie Maurizio would fit in, I don't know. As I said, Baty and Vientos seem to be holding down the third base job. Acuna and McNeil are holding the second base job, so I don't know if there's a spot right now for Maurizio, but we'll see. Injuries, there are injuries and struggles that go on. Should Acuna struggle, they could always send him down, bring up Maurizio. Same thing with Baty. So we'll see. It's a long season, and we have a long, long way to go. In other Mets news, to make room for lefty reliever Jose Castilla, the Mets have optioned Daniel Nunez back to AAA. Nunez, who emerged last year as a high-average arm before suffering an elbow injury, made his season debut on May 5th of this year, and he has struggled in his appearances so far this season. So the Mets planned they wanted to keep him long term this year, but he walked 6 batters in 3.2 innings. So they sent him back down to Syracuse, try to get it together, get his game under control, and hopefully we will see Daniel Nunez back again. As I said, it's a long season. So these things you expect some of these things to happen. So I'm sure he'll be back up when the need arises. All right, let's take a break and come back right after this.
Baseball and BBQ, your place for interesting baseball talk, opinions, and history.
Baseball and BBQ, your place for barbecue recipes, tips, and interviews from the world of barbecue. If you like baseball and if you like barbecue, then tune in to Baseball and BBQ. Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and BaseballTalkRadio.com.
And we're back, and now it's time to go down on the farm. Fresh air on the farm. All right, 3 Mets prospects earned Player of the Week honors for their standout performances. Jonah Tong again. Right-handed pitcher, Double-A Binghamton, was named Eastern League Pitcher of the Week for the 2nd straight week in a row. He threw 6 scoreless innings with 8 strikeouts following a nearly perfect previous outing. Tong has a 2.12 ERA, a 1.00 whip, and leads all minor leaguers 30-plus innings pitched with a 43.4% strikeout rate. And he is on his way. I know he's in Binghamton, and they're not going to rush him, but this kid's coming, and he's coming fast. And let's see if he hits Syracuse in a. I think they're going to let him have a couple more starts, and then they have to really consider bringing him to Syracuse this season. And it'll be interesting to see, as well as Queens. I mean, he could be up next year. He could be up the end of this year. Who knows? but he's definitely a guy that's coming up fast. Nick Morabito, outfielder for Double-A Binghamton, was named the Eastern League Hitter of the Week after batting .462 with a .731 slugging percentage. He's on a 9-game hitting streak and has 14 stolen bases this season. Morabito was recently ranked 16th on Baseball America's hottest prospects list. So congratulations to Nick Morabito. Had a terrific week and has been having a very good year as he starts his move up the system. And A.J. Ewing, outfielder second baseman, High A Brooklyn Cyclones, earned South Atlantic League Player of the Week honors by hitting .500 with a .609 OPB. He's on a 10-game hitting streak and has 27 stolen bases this season. Ewing boasts a .381 batting average and a .477 OPB, both top 5 in MILB, 100 people at bats and more, and he was promoted. He's been with Brooklyn now. He started the season in St. Lucie and was promoted. And talk about promotions, the Mets have made plenty of early seasons promotions in the farm system. Here's a few. Right-handed pitcher Ryan Lambert, he went from High A Brooklyn to Double-A Binghamton. Right-handed pitcher Anthony Nunez went from Brooklyn to Double-A Binghamton. Matthew Allen, he went from Single-A St. Lucie to High A Brooklyn. Right-handed pitcher Nate Dome went again from Single-A St. Lucie to High A Brooklyn. And right-handed pitcher Ramon Gomez went from St. Lucie to High A Brooklyn. So guys are making their way up the system, and that's what you want to see. You want to see these guys progress. Of course, you want to see them play great ball, and that's how they possess. They move up by playing well, and that's what you want to see, especially with the pitching staff for the way it is with the Mets. They've been piecing it together the last few years. This is what they've been building for, though. Getting a pitching system and developing a program that will feed the major leagues. And while we haven't seen much of it yet, we see the results so far in the minors where guys are coming along and they're dominating. Now, some of them have hit roadblocks at AAA, and that's what happens. It's a big jump, but, there is good signs there with so many pitchers that are pitching pretty well in the minors for the Mets. So keep your fingers crossed and wait for them to come to Queens. Now, let's take a look at the standings for all of the Mets affiliates. Syracuse, as of Wednesday night, was 21 and 26th in 7th place, and they are 11 and a half games back. Binghamton was 23 and 16. They were in first place in their division. Brooklyn 26 and 13, and they were holding down third place, but only a half a game out of first. St. Lucie was 22 and 19, and they are in first place in their division. And the FCL Mets are 6 and 7, third place, 2.5 games back in the division. So that is how the affiliates are doing going into the games that they are playing as we speak. A few of them were rained out last night or delayed, and I think Brooklyn was delayed this evening as we record this on Thursday night. So hopefully they got their game started in the Jersey Shore. Syracuse is playing Rochester right now, and they are losing 2-1. So the minor leagues are playing, and we'll see how they do this week. All right, now let's take a look at the draft. All right, and now let's take a look at the scouting reports with the Dodgers coming in. Dodgers made significant offseason acquisitions, including signing two-time Cy Young Award winner Blake Snell and Japanese pitching sensation Roki Sasaki. These additions bolstered a formidable rotation that already featured Tyler Glasnow, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and others, but they have been hit big with the injury bug, with Glasnow, Snell, and Sasaki out with injuries. Ohtani is not pitching, and it looks like they're going to push him back until after the All-Star break now. You know, he was recovering from Tommy John surgery, even though he's been DHing the last year and a half. But he was supposed to come back in his dual role as a pitcher and a DH. But so far, he has not taken the mound. Relievers Blake Trainin, Evan Phillips, and Kirby Yates have also gone down with injuries. And I think I heard Gary Cohen said that the Dodgers had 11 pitches on their injured list. So that's a lot, and it's kind of a nod to their farm system that they're able to bring guys up and keep their head above water as they maintain first place in the Western Division. Ohtani is still delivering an MVP-worthy season as a designated hitter. He leads the MLB with 17 home runs, boasts a .312 batting average, and has a 1.078 OPS along with 10 stolen bases. Ohtani recently completed a 50-pitch bullpen session, indicating progress in his recovery, though no firm return date to the pitching mound has been set. And also, the Mets are going to see Clayton Kershaw this weekend, who is coming back from the last few years have been injury prone for him. Has pitched very little over the last couple of years, so of course he gets healthy to see the Mets. And let's face it, the Dodgers have an elite team. They've got a great farm system. That's why they're on top all the time. And they make smart moves. Their acquisitions and develop of international prospects show that they are sustainable and want to maintain that excellence that they've created there. So they've got a Ohtani leading the charge there. They've got a pipeline of talent. They are well equipped for both current success and future dominance, though we hope we can break that. The probable pitches for the Mets and the Dodgers series, subject to change, of course, Friday would be Griffin Canning 5-1 against Clayton Kershaw 0-0. Saturday, David Peterson 2-2 goes against Tony Gonsolin, who is 2-0. And Sunday, it's the Mets Kodai Senga against the Dodgers Landon Mack. So that is the scouting report on the Dodgers and the probable pitchers, subject to change. And that's going to wrap it up for this week's show. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were informed. and we try to give you all the information that we can pack into this time and keep you on top of your game as well as the Mets on top of their game. So if you're watching on YouTube or Rumble, please hit the like or subscribe button and leave a comment. It's free, and it helps us know where we're going wrong or what people would like to see done differently or whatever. Just leave a comment, and we would appreciate it. And of course, the audio version on it is all on your podcast apps. So hit the buttons, and we will see you next time. And until next time, remember, keep the faith, stay optimistic, and let's go Mets. I'm Gary Mack, and I'll see you next time on another edition of Metsmusings.